Where are we, Jake?
We're at the Adventure Barn.
I'm Shorty.
And I'm Jake.
This is the barn. And tonight, I think we're going to try to wrap up this KLR 650 2023 short edition.
Say, don't forget the S.
Oh, it's all about the S. So, we'll probably start on this end. And we'll run through what we're going to do down the road and tonight. The first thing we're going to do down the road, well, let's start here.
First oil change.
Well, before we even get to that, are we paid?
We are not paid. We are not sponsored.
Therefore,
our opinions
are that of our own.
May not be any good.
Okay, so
they're ours.
We're going to get to the skid plate. But one thing we are going to do with the first oil change, or I'm going to do with the first oil change, is I'm going to take one of these short oil plugs with me. And we're going to take that long one off. Even though we have some protection coming with this pan, I'd still feel better.
If you were going to keep the factory skid plate, the bolt for your oil on the bottom sticks down a fair amount. And I think if you get into any rocks, you might end up with some trouble. These are more of a flush mount. Be a good idea with the stock one. And Shorty's going to try that with his skid plate, which is longer than the factory.
I do have one thing that's kind of disappointing.
There's no Tusk sticker.
There's no sticker, and it's Tusk. I don't know. They slacked. All right.
I had to buy the more expensive stuff because I wanted something different. And Shorty purchased all the affordable stuff.
So, in the very beginning of the project, I had mentioned that I got the cheapest phone holder that Amazon had. Well, here it is. You see what the name of that is? There's some directions, I think, in there.
Joy Room, and it's got a 1 on it.
Oh, it doesn't. I'll be honest. The clamp doesn't look bad. It's plastic, but
not a lot for directions.
No, I don't
clamp it to your bars. There should be a nut on there that'll screw into the back. I guess they already assembled it on the ball.
It really, that's aluminum. That doesn't feel bad at all. It actually has some substance to
grip.
It. Yeah.
Oh. You can open it up when you put your phone in. It's going to close on your phone.
Oh, I forgot what I paid. I'll post it on the B-reel when I do the video. And
that spring doesn't feel real strong, but I'm glad it'll be your phone on the first trip that finds out if it's any good.
We'll find out. That's what I have phone insurance for.
Oh, lock button on the back.
I'll see that.
Yes. Once you get it there, it does lock.
Well, somewhat.
But would you pay for this?
$10, I think.
It's worth a try. The little bracket here is worth that.
Yeah, I mean, I can use that with
because with the ball you can
cameras.
put the cameras or anything else on.
And then I know you bought one of these too.
I did.
We have the Tusk shifter. And how do we know that the shifter is Tusk?
I think we really had to research.
Right.
Oh, never mind. There's a sticker and it's printed on the product.
So what we'll do is we'll do a comparison when we take the other one off. We'll actually put them side by side, get them in front of the camera, and sticker.
Pretty good spring there. Light.
All right.
And now the thing you've been so excited. So excited since you saw it.
I think it was the first thing I bought.
And after I saw it, I purchased the same one.
Oh.
This is an Enduro Engineering skid plate.
So, you want to show them the bottom of that and why we think it's so wonderful?
Well, the stock one is going to stop right in about here. In fact, Shorty's going to go get his. Your oil plug on the bottom of your case is back here, so there's no protection.
And this is where the oil plug is.
You can see you have the hole so you can still get to your oil plug. These welds look nice. This is thick. This is 3/16 anyway. And that thing should take some bashing. Not real heavy.
They were thoughtful enough that when you do your oil change, so that you can clean things out when you do your washes, you can get in there with a power washer and spray out around your plug before you take the plug out. And with these short plugs, it's not even going to come close to that now. So
now that he said power washer, they do not recommend using one on bikes.
No, you're right.
We will not be using a power washer.
Came with a sticker.
At least that one doesn't say.
It's different. So we're going to be putting that on tonight. That's probably the one that we'll do the step-by-step.
Yeah.
The rest of the stuff we're probably going to just kind of roll through, and we'll do a review of the whole bike when it's done.
Let you know what you needed.
They also send some insulator, so you don't get... whenever you attach a piece of steel or aluminum to the bottom of your bike and it goes from frame rail to frame rail, it can create harmonics through the frame, and it'll actually make a sound like a tuning fork. So they were kind enough to include some rubber gasketing for the frame. I think that's pretty cool.
It won't squeak.
Won't squeak. Yep. Won't squeak, no harmonics.
They do give you spacers. Now, I haven't read the directions on this. You saw we just took it out of the box. I'm assuming we're not going to use these because he has the lower crash bars on his that bolt back in this hole. These are designed to work with lower crash bars, but if you don't have them, the spacers will go on here.
Look at that.
If I saw that correct in my research.
Color directions. Those pictures are, those are like you took them with a camera yourself.
Yeah.
So, that's worth its weight right there.
Probably I should hold it up this way so it's not upside down.
I don't know. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the product. I'm sure a lot of you guys have watched other KLR videos, and these skid plates have come up a lot. And when I first saw it, I was all set to buy another brand, and then I saw that, and I'm like, yeah, there's a whole lot more there for the money. And once again, I kind of forgot what it was off the top of my head. But
I don't remember what mine was either.
Well, here, we'll put this aside.
138 or so.
If you want to do an intro on what that is, and I can look at the list. So the skid plate, we got that from Rocky Mountain ATV, $139.88, and the extended shifter was again through Rocky Mountain, and that was $21.49, and the phone holder was $19.99 through Amazon, and the oil plugs were $8.99 each. But you didn't get one, right?
I did not.
So I got one.
If I need it, I'm going to rely on Enduro Engineering. Here we got the Tusk Olympus large tank bag.
Now, the reason that I went with a tank bag, and I think Jake and I do a lot of riding together, in case you haven't figured that out. 2 years ago, what do we do? 6,000 miles,
around 6,000. 26 states.
26 states.
17 days.
17 days.
3 of them we spent in one state, the great state of Tennessee, and we will be visiting that again this year.
So I find you need something up front for your toll tickets, for your local maps, for
Local maps.
local maps,
The kids don't know what a map is.
because we map read.
We read the maps.
We don't rely on GPS, so that's another reason that this was very important for me, because it has the clear front. And once we sit down and we map our route out on a map or an atlas, we like to be able to fold it up and put it in something that we can see. On the Harleys, we generally stick them
In our windshield.
in our windshield, so I had to come up with a solution for this.
Might not be the map. It might just be a note with our directions on it, where we want to go, where we want to turn, name of a road or an exit. That looks like that'll work for you.
Yep.
They
got good reviews.
I haven't decided on one yet because I don't know what I want. I know I do want a clear pocket. I put my phone in it and like say directions or something I want to see going down the road.
So, without going on and on and on, we're going to get to doing the install. The install on this should probably only be about a 10-minute install, probably about 5 minutes via video. And then we'll put the rest of the stuff on, and maybe we'll do a walk around tonight. And I'm hoping to get a trial run in tomorrow before the rain starts.
I will say something there, though. That is nice how they...
Oh, look at that. It's gasketed.
Your zipper is covered when they zip that up.
And it does. This is a rain sock.
Rain sock.
And then there's all sorts of little
pouches,
rubber bands to hold your stuff in place.
The other inside one.
That was a little bit pricey. That was like the, you know what? Everything else is kind of a necessity. This is for me. So what did I give up on that? Tank bag. Yeah, that was $105. $104.99.
Does this one have magnets in it anywhere?
It does not.
It does not.
It does not, but it does have protectors over anywhere there's plastic, there's some nylon.
Quick release strap, so you can take it in with you.
Yeah, and the way that this is designed, when you stop at a gas station, you only have to remove this clip, and you can push the bag off to the side so you can fill up and then put it back over.
There's some elastic straps.
Let's figure it out.
Yep.
All right, so we will be right back with an install. All right, to do the very simple installation of an Enduro Engineering skid plate, you will need the following.
An 8mm socket, a 10mm wrench, 12mm socket, and some kind of cutting tool. We used a knife.
Cutting tool is for the little insulation that they provide,
yep,
so that you don't get reverberation through your frame.
Yep.
And that's what you'll need for this install.
Okay, I wanted to show you the oil plug on the bottom of these KLRs because we've talked about it so much. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. But these are the frame rails. Let me see here. This is the oil plug. Now, that is actually a little bit lower than, it's a little bit lower than the frame. You can see it.
The whole bolt head sticks below the frame.
Yes.
So if you rub your frame on something, you're rubbing that bolt right off.
Yes. I just wanted to show you that. This is your drain plug for your oil, and it does sit below your frame rails. This is the back of the factory skid plate right here. When you remove that, there's two bolts here you're going to have to take out, and there's a bolt with a nut in the front. There's two of those. Those are, I think, 8mm and 10mm. We don't have to do that because we've already removed the skid plate to put the crash bars on, and move on to the next step. Motion detected.
Okay, so So Jake keeps setting off the motion detector on the camera system I installed, and then he's actually peeling back the insulating tape right now. And he's going to put the insulating tape on the frame. He loosened the bolts to the frame guards that we put on last week.
You will have to have a 12mm socket for the factory skid plate ones in the back. We already had those removed. These were 13mm.
And we did wipe the frame off before he started to apply this stuff. You're on.
As you can see, the new skid plate is on and tightened up, and it protects that drain plug much better. I suppose a fluke thing could get in there, but I like it. It's just good and solid. Went on pretty easy. All tightened up. You tighten your front, then your middle, and your back. When you're starting it, you start with the bolts in the back, and you do use the aluminum washers or spacers if you don't have the engine guards, but we do, so you don't use them. You get these started, get this 10 or 2 started, and you start the front ones. And when you tighten it, you start in the front, go to the middle, go to the rear, and this thing is bulletproof now. It really protects these side cases and water pump.
Yeah, the water pump is, I mean, it's stashed behind here between the new bar and then the plate. I feel pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick run through of the bike, what we did. So we did put the skid plate on. I am very happy with the skid plate. You can see how much protection between the lower crash bar now and that skid plate, how much protection there is on that water pump. I like that idea. I also installed the Atlas throttle lock. We didn't talk about that. I kind of forgot I had it. So we did install that. That was a pretty easy install once you figured the directions out. Slips right on. And then we installed the Tusk tank bag. I think we both agreed the look on that is good. That was a real quick install. And then I'm not going to be able to get to the other side of the bike right now. We did install the Tusk
Extended length
shift lever. Now, we're not sure there's actually any extended length. And once again, we're not sure if maybe that is the difference between the 22 and
23.
older versus the 23, because we've run into that a couple of times now with Tusk product where things are a little bit different on the 23s and they kind of haven't caught up their technology yet. Let's see, what else we got? Oh, the phone holder. I had the phone holder mounted on the handlebar. The only problem is the thickness of the bars and the thickness that the phone holder will accept are two different things. The areas in the bar where I could hook the phone holder up, when I have it hooked up there, the tank bag interferes when I make a turn. So there's that. And we'll be right back with a full review. Alright, Jake, we finished the install. That means it is
Review time.
review time. Where do you want to start?
We'll start with that skid plate. It's going to protect that factory drain plug.
They allowed you that slot to clean around the drain plug before you take it off. I like that a lot.
I don't know why Kawasaki did something like that. They've been making these bikes for years. Maybe they just want to sell you a new motor when you yank the plug out.
A plastic skid plate, though. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
They can do a little bit better than that, I think.
That Enduro Engineering skid plate we put on, that's a nice piece. It looks nice. It fits well. That with the lower crash bars that we installed earlier, Really protects the bottom of this bike.
That water pump is bulletproof right now.
Yeah.
All right. So then we did the shifter. Let's talk about the shifter. You start talking, and I'll be back with it.
The length, side by side, we forgot to take a picture, but we'll get you one here. The length was the same. Now, a complaint on these KLRs is that there's not enough room to put your foot in for shifting. So we have both purchased the extended shifter from Tusk. We put them side by side and they appear to be the same length. The only thing we found different is it bends over here and it keeps it a little closer to the case. So,
which with the big rubber pads that they give you from the factory for your feet, it's going to be kind of nice to be able, if you lock your heel in on that pad, you'll have a little bit more room where you can swing your foot up and down without getting into the shifter. But you're going to have to also remember you got to bring your foot back in for that shifter.
We ran into them few things, like our brake reservoir is different from 22 to 23. Maybe Kawasaki put a longer shifter on or a different shifter on 23 than they had.
That's what we came up with
previous years. Well,
I mean, as far as the shifter itself, it looks like it's constructed well, and you know, it's aluminum, it's knurled. There are no rubbers on it, so then it's not going to be slippery in the woods or whatever. But yeah, there's that. I mean, it wasn't a break the bank part either.
No. I can't foresee having to buy it. Don't spend your money thinking that it's going to be longer than your factory one on the 23s, because in our case, it was not.
All right, tank bag.
It looks nice. I don't think that would be the one I would try.
I have concerns about it. I have concerns about how the straps run. Are they going to rub on the tank? I know I have it on now. I'm going to run it probably tomorrow, but I'm going to go get some 3M clear vinyl, and I'm going to cover the tank with some 3M vinyl everywhere that bag touches, because...
We'll mention that the back of the Tusk bag, the bottom against the tank, is kind of rubbery, and it doesn't seem to slide around. But
if you get on the highway in the rain, and especially we live in the North Country again, and there's still a lot of sand on the road, all it's going to take is a little bit of dust and the vibration, and I see
scratches,
sandpaper.
But I guess that could go for any tank bag. This is the only one that we can talk about right now.
The Atlas throttle lock.
That was simple to go on.
It's expensive.
I think it's going
so we did something here. Jake bought a relatively, probably one of the cheapest ones on the market.
$46.
And I bought the most expensive one. And I think we're going to see, was it worth the difference in price?
Yeah.
Right now, I'm not sold yet. I'm not all hail Atlas right now.
And until we get mine on, we won't tell. It's a total different setup that I have.
I think that's all we did tonight, right?
I believe so.
So there's that. And what I'll do too is, there was a gentleman that sent in some pictures of his 2022 brake reservoir on his bike from when we did the pannier rack installation. We were running into the problem where the bolt was too long in the back and it was bumping into the rectangular brake reservoir on this bike, and we couldn't figure out why they would do that. And it turns out this is the first year with the rectangular brake reservoir.
Yes, the same bike in 22 was round.
And in the description, I forgot, I apologize who sent us that that email and was kind enough to send us the pictures. So if you go into the description, I'm going to give the guy full credit because he did go out of his way to send us the pictures, and we appreciate it. Set us straight,
Yep.
and it helped out a lot. It'll help you guys in the future too. So if you happen to know if the shift lever is indeed longer on the 23s versus the other year models, if Kawasaki did listen to the consumer, please let us know.
The phone holder, even though he can't use it, we put it on, started the bike, it didn't vibrate, it looked like it was going to hold, even though it was a cheap one.
Mhm.
So I will say that.
Okay, well, until we meet on the road
or the trail.
have a great night.